Base camp, your signal's weak and garbled. Base camp? Come in, base camp. Come in.
I've now spent over 5 hours playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and although it feels and plays like the 2 previous entries, there were a few things about it that immediately stood out, most of which helped enhance the immersion of an already captivating series. Immersion mode is a fantastic feature that makes me wonder why more games didn't have this in the first place. It lets characters speak in their native tongue, which just makes sense. I'm sure this must have taken more work in the language and localization departments, but coupled with optional subtitles, it goes a long way to create a more immersive experience.
Someone must know something.
Hey Sammy, how's it going?
Walking through a town in Mexico, it gave a strong sense of locale hearing characters chatter in their dialect. It made me wonder 2 things. How does Lara respond to so many languages, and whether more games will follow suit? A scene opens with a heartbeat. My fingers on the controller, I feel a rumble from the left, then to the right, as sound slowly beats. As the beat gets faster, so does the left to right rumble movement in my palms. Wading through the jungle mud and being clued in on bird secrets are 2 more neat applications. It might be an old novelty to complement a rumble feature, but Shadow of the Tomb Raider shows that smart implementation is sorely sought after, and that rumble may be a feature that's not used creatively enough in most games. Shadow certainly puts a spotlight on the possible uses of this feature, enhancing immersion all the more.
Alright. Should have seen that coming.
Last year, Xbox players were treated with the option to incorporate Dolby Atmos to their main audio settings. It's an impressive software that simulates a spatial dimension for sound, recognizing sources from around and overhead, doing wonders for many games. These days, you can see many gaming headphones utilize this technology. Shadow takes this a step further by engineering its sound design with the Dolby Atmos technology in mind. Hear crickets hum, bird feathers ruffle, and the rapids of waterfalls with sources that move in accordance to where you are. It's a great application even for players who don't have a home theater, and it's given me a great reason to play with headphones on.
Let us know when the gunshots get reported.
It's hard to remember a time when scaling a game's difficulty wasn't an expected option, but Shadow of the Tomb Raider takes this a step forward by allowing players to differentiate the difficulty in 3 different aspects. Some players might find exploration too easy, but don't want a harder challenge in combat. In Shadow, we can ramp up just the exploration while keeping difficulty levels of combat and puzzles. This is a great way to address the complaint that puzzles in the series have rather been on the lighter scale. Reading some of the changes when ramping up difficulty, like turning off the highlight on puzzle objects, also made me realize that perhaps that's why I often found the previous game's puzzles to be a bit too simple. To add, in this game, Lara can be needlessly chatty about what to do next when I'd rather discover the solution for myself.
Have to raise that bell somehow.
Allowing to differentiate how difficulty scales certainly helps players play their way. You can argue that the few hours I've spent Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I haven't really spent playing thanks to photo mode. It certainly lengthened my play of the prologue, not just for the photo contest on social media, but also because it's so accessible. Whether in a cutscene or during gameplay, I can pause the game and go into photo mode, where although it halts the game's pace, it's undeniably fun. Turn a serious moment into a silly one, take a picture of the bad times, or show Spider-Man that there's a little girl who can give him a run for his money.